Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made this beautiful magical decor piece. And in the second half of my video, I'm going to be showing you how to upload images to Cricut Design Space and use the print and cut feature. So let's get started. So for today's project, I'm going to be using this oval wooden frame that I got from Michael's for $1. And I thought of using this rectangle frame, which would have also looked nice, but I thought the oval was more elegant. And by the way, I think you can find these frames at the Dollar Tree, but they are less expensive at Michael's. And I'm going to be using some printable images from the Victoria Designs Magical Unicorns Junk Journal Kit, like this beautiful one right here. And I'll also be using some things from my stash, like a couple of Martha Steward pearl paints and some flowers that all seem to be a perfect match for the images that I'm going to be using. I'm also using these gorgeous images from the kit. Those are 2 different ephemera pages that I uploaded to Cricut Design Space and used the print and cut feature because that would have been a lot of cutting that I did not want to do by hand. And don't forget, if you're interested, the last half of this video is a tutorial on how to upload images to Cricut Design Space and use the print and cut feature. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint the frame with these Martha Steward paints, and I am using these sponges, but it can also be done with paint brushes just like this. So first I'm putting on the Martha Steward pearl paint in the color Splash, and I'm just dabbing it on. I love the textured look that I get by using the sponges. And as you can see, I'm not going for full coverage. And once that's dry, I'm going over that with the Martha Steward pearl paint in the color Eclipse. I think those 2 colors together are going to absolutely be a magical match with the images and the flowers. And again, I'm not going for full coverage, but I am doing not just the front, but also the edges. I would normally do the back also, but I did not do that in this video. I really love how the frame turned out. I think it's perfect. Okay, moving on to the next step, I'm going to be using that beautiful page from the kit and that oval piece from the frame and place that over the area that I want to cut and trace around that with a pencil and then use my scissors to cut that out for a perfect fit. So, with that beautiful image cut out and the frame perfectly painted, next I'm going to put that in the frame and oh my gosh, I cannot believe how beautiful they look together. And now it's time to start decorating using some of those ephemera pieces that I cut out. And I didn't show the decorating process because everybody has their own ideas on how to decorate. But I did use these clear dimensional glue dots and Beacon 3-in-1 glue to add the ephemera pieces and the beautiful flowers. And for the final magical touch, I'm using iridescent glitter dust spray and spraying the entire frame and all of the embellishments. I am so disappointed that not all of that sparkle is showing up on camera, but I am adding these pictures with close-ups in hopes that you get a glimpse of all the sparkle. And if you missed last week's journal tutorial using the same Magical Unicorns kit, here's a sneak peek to entice you to watch it. And now for the Cricut Design Space tutorial. When you get to your Cricut Design Space canvas, you'll see options on the left-hand side, and you're going to choose the Upload option. And this takes you to the page that has the Upload option, and you click on that. Then it takes you to a page where you can drag and drop your file or browse for one, and I choose to browse. And then I look for the image I want to upload and choose that. Then it takes you to this page to select the image type, and I always find it best to select complex whether it is or not. And once you've clicked on that, click on continue. Now this is where the fun starts. So first I'm just playing around with the magnifying tool just to show you that it's there. And I did not scroll down to choose the select button because it's automatically selected, and all you have to do is put your cursor on the white background area of whatever you've uploaded and click. And when you do that, it will change the white background to a blue checkered background, which is actually a clear background. Now in this case, I want to erase the Victoria Designs writing that goes down the side because that's pretty much impossible for Cricut to cut out, and I don't need it. So I scroll down to the manual options and choose Erase. And I didn't show you this, but just below where you clicked on the Erase option, you can adjust the eraser size. And I left it the small size that it was just because I didn't want to accidentally erase part of the images. So that took a while, but when I thought I was done, then I went to the upper right side where it says Preview Cut Image, and I clicked on that. And everything that you see in black is what's going to be the images that you want to cut. And then I went below the image where you will see the plus and minus for magnifying the images, and I enlarged it so that I could get a better look in case there were areas that I missed when I was erasing so that I could finish cleaning that up. And once I was done with that, I clicked on the Apply and Continue button in the bottom right corner. And it takes a minute, but the next screen is where you get to select the upload type. And on the left is just a cut out image, but on the right is the print and cut image, and that is what you want to click on. And then over on the right, you can give it a name or you can give it a tag or both, and you can create a collection to add it to if you don't already have one, but that's not necessary. And I just happen to have a Magical Unicorns collection that I'm adding it to, so I clicked on that. And now we go down to the bottom and click on that little green button that says Upload. And depending on the size of your file, it could take a while, but the next screen you will see has all of the images that you have uploaded, and I have quite a few. But you click on the image, and then down in the right corner it says Add to Canvas, and you click on that. Now these Victoria Design pages, like the one I uploaded, are actually very large. So I come up here to the top around the center, and you'll see where you can change the size and you can change the width or the height. So I'm changing the height to 7 inches and hitting enter. You can change it to whatever size you like as long as it fits on the mat, and then from there you click on the Go Make It button. The next screen shows you where to position it on the mat after you have printed it. But first, you're going to go down to the bottom right and hit Continue. And this is where you will send it to your printer. This does require a Wi-Fi connection to your printer or a cord connection to your printer. And that little green button that I'm pointing out is to add bleed. And what that means is that it adds a little additional color around the edges so that when it cuts, you don't have a white line around your image. And once you're ready, just click the print button and it will send it to your printer. The next screen that pops up is where you select the material that you're using. And as you can see, they're showing a lot of options. But if you don't see an option that fits the paper or cardstock that you're using, the best thing to do is click on the Browse All Materials and scroll through the huge variety of options until you find the one that best describes what you're using. I'm using 110-pound cardstock, so I scroll down to where it says Heavy Cardstock 100 pounds, and I choose that and click on Done. Then the next screen lets you customize even more by choosing the pressure. And since my cardstock is 110 pounds and not 100 pounds, I click on the option for more pressure. And while I was taking care of those settings, my images were printed out and ready to be placed in the upper left-hand corner of the cutting mat. And then I inserted it into the Cricut and I pressed on the flashing arrow button that will then draw my mat into the machine. And then once the cut button starts flashing, I will press on that. I have sped things up because it takes a little while for the Cricut to do all of its calibrating so that it knows where to cut, and of course it takes a while for it to cut. I don't know if you can tell with this all sped up, but it's going around each of the images 3 times, and that's because I'm using the heavy 110-pound cardstock. I find it absolutely amazing that this machine not only knows where to cut, but it can cut around something 3 times in the exact same place. Okay, it's done and the button is flashing, letting me know it's time to eject the mat. And that is how easy it is to use the print and cut feature of Cricut Design Space. Okay, I want to point something out. When I was cleaning out the background, I had forgot that those 2 stripes went top to bottom, so I would have needed to remove the background from the right-hand side, and I did not. So, learn from my mistakes. Well, I hope that tutorial was helpful, and I also hope that you like my magical unicorn decor piece. I will have links below to Victoria Designs and to the kit that I used, and there will also be a 60% off discount code that is good on any of the magical unicorn junk journal kits from Victoria Designs. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.